Hey guys, so I've created an automation which is going to show you how I'm doing a cold outreach to charities in the UK and London to do with refugees. And the whole idea of this automation is so that it pulls in all the charities that it finds from Google search and Google Maps, and then it will send an automatic outreach email to these charities to offer my services for them. So just show you a quick demo of how I've done this. Refugee charities, and I've set it up so that Google Maps and Google Search is done around my area in London, and what it will come back with the title of charities that it finds, the phone number, the email, and the website. So hopefully we're seeing all of this, and it will update a Excel here. So for example, we can see the charity name that is pulled through, the website, whether it's found an email or not, because sometimes the automation is not able to find one, and whether we've been able to send an email or not. So that's a quick demo. I'm going to show you exactly how I've done this in each step. So let's get into it. To start with, I am going to, however, pin these, because these are the results from an API which you have to pay for every search, so just to not have to pay every time. Okay, so I've done this on chat message. So basically, whatever I put into this chat message will go into this next node. Then I've gone to the SERP API node, and this is, so SERP API is a really simple way of scraping Google for results. So if you look here, the operation, you can choose as many different things as you can think of. So in fact, actually thinking about it, how I can develop this, I can put more nodes and even find Bing search, DuckDuckGo search, because Google will give different results to these other ones. So to set up your account, you want to go to SERP API, and well, I'm gonna have to change that, but basically this is your private API key. So when I upload this, I'm gonna have to change that, but you basically copy this and put this straight into new credentials here. You put your API key here, and that's what I've done, and set up your credentials. And then for Google Maps, we've put the chat input as our input, as our query search. And then we want to put the GPS coordinates here of where on Google Maps it's going to search. So I've put this as London, and just an additional field you can add here is the country you want to search in, so United Kingdom. Then when you execute this step, you will get what we've just done at the beginning, this output. And this is all the results from the search. So it's as simple as that. What we're going to do at the same time, what I've done here is, so I've done a Google Map search, and I've done also a normal Google search, and I'll show you exactly what differs here. And the only thing it is this Google search operation. So rather than Google Maps, I've gone to Google search and returned all of the fields from just the direct Google result. And again, location I can define as London. You can see here you have additional fields of how you want to search Google. So if you want to do that and get better results, that's an idea. So now we have a lot of data here, and if we look at the JSON, we have all the results from this Google Maps. And what we want is a quick JavaScript code to only take out the pieces that we want. So that is the title, the website, and the phone number of all the Google Maps results. So the easiest way to do this is to ask ChatGPT, and that is what I've done. So I've asked ChatGPT, I've given GPT a extract. So I've just copied this, for example. I'd copy this all the way down here, because this is, you can see this is position 3 and this is position 4. So this is just one return, and I would copy it into here, and I'll just not new project, on a new chat, I would copy it in and just ask, can you give me a code snippet to return only the website link? And it will come up with something that is usable. So, and this sometimes requires a little bit of back and forth with ChatGPT, but all you have to do is just copy this in, copy that, and then you paste it right into here. But so I've gone through the pain of doing that before. So we don't need to do this now, is what I'm saying. And that is it. So we have the title, website, and phone from all of our Google Maps results. Then we do the same thing here, exactly the same thing with our Google search results. We want to return title, website, and phone number. So it's identical. The only difference is you will have to be aware that this JSON is actually different. So the input to this JavaScript will be different, and you'll have to do the same process of talking to ChatGPT and extracting this information already. So we have this set up. Now, I've split this into two different streams. So the first stream, we're merging together the title, website, and phone number. Okay, so we're merging the Google Maps and the Google search together. And in this merge, I just append it. So I've just put it one after the other and added this into a single table. So that's just to get all the information together. The second split, so it's two identical flows to the left and right, to top and bottom. But the second split, we then actually want to go into the website that is given and try and extract the email address from this website automatically. So what you want to do is get an HTTP node. So you can find this here. You get an HTTP request node, and with get method, you just want to input the website as an input of the URL. So this is where we want to go, and this is where we want to scrape. One thing to note for sure is that there are some websites that will have bot detection services and they will block you. So for this reason, we do want to make sure that on error is set to continue, because this means that if it does come back with an error, it will just go to the next step in the table, and so it will go to the next website, essentially. Otherwise, it would just cut out there and the workflow would stop. So to do that, we've pulled this in, and it's showing, it's a lot. Well, it's 1.1 meg. It's not actually that much, but it brings back the HTML of the website. And we've done the same for Google Maps, all the Google Maps websites, and also all the Google search websites, exactly the same. And this is exactly where we can just, so it's identical because we've now got the same field as website to put in. So then when we have all of the HTMLs, we want to pass the HTML for any kind of @ sign to try and retrieve the email address from the website. And again, it's very easy to do this by talking to ChatGPT. So what I did was I copied this JSON, went to ChatGPT and asked it to pass. So what I'll just show you how I would do it. I think that would be too much, but if I did something like scroll all the way down, say something like this. I don't know, this is one instance, this is one website HTML. And then I would just ask, I have this website data. Can you extract all the emails from this website? From this, yeah. Now copy and paste that. Oh, it's too long, but you kind of get the idea. You just I'll delete half of that, and then it will come back with a code snippet of where it finds essentially the @ sign, and then it will find all the digits before and all the digits or letters afterwards. So it's finding a regex to match this email to match, and then it returns whether it is found in email or not. And so sometimes we have more than one email address on a website, and we also want to make sure that this is on the same row. So we've done this. So we've returned all the email addresses, and we do exactly the same for the Google search returns. So it's again identical because of the way the data is put in is identical. So you can just copy and paste this node twice. So once we have, so let's take a step back. We have the title, the website, and the phone number in the first merge all together in the same table. Now, separately, we have an email, a table with the list of emails corresponding to each row, like this, and we have another one. So we want to merge the emails together. Okay, and when we merge these together, it will be the same as what we've done before. We append them on top of each other so that the same row matches with the same row of the title number and link, website link. I think we had, yes. So we have the same row matched up with the other one. So when we have that, we can then merge again into just one big table with our website, an email, a title, and a phone number. Okay, so it looks something like this. It's a little bit difficult to see on here, but so the next step would be, so we have our results from Google search and we have our results from Google Maps, and we have them all on one table. Now, it is possible that there are duplicates. So Google Maps may give you the same results as Google search. So we want to make sure that in the whole workflow, we don't want to send the same email twice to the same person. Okay, so the next step would be to remove any duplicates. Very simply, it's going to become a little bit repetitive, I guess, but talk to ChatGPT. So we have a JSON file, and I would just copy this, and then I'd put it into ChatGPT again and ask it to remove all duplicates. So I'd do the same thing. Can you remove any duplicates? And one thing I would say, though, I would specify duplicates of the website, because the website is the one field that is going to be the same. So this is what I've done, and I've returned this output. So we can actually see if going into this, we have 23 items, and then coming out, we have 20 items. So it does mean that there were actually duplicates involved in the data. And just off the top of my head, because I know I've done this, it's this Islington Center for Refugees and Migrants. There is another one at the bottom here. So this is exactly the same. And in our output here, we will only have one Islington Center and no more over here. So this is actually our final list of information. We've collected the leads, and the next thing to do would be to put it in an Excel sheet or a Google Sheets sheet. So that's what I've done here. And in your Google Sheets, you do want to make sure that you have one extra column. This is filled in because we've run the workflow, but we do want to have an empty outreach status column. And I'll tell you why in a little bit. So it looks like this. This is the email. This is all the data. And then we want to pull in the information from here again. So we've pushed out, so in our Google Sheets, we want to firstly connect our credential to here. Then we want to choose our document from the list. And once you've added a credential, it automatically pulls in all the Google Sheets that are associated to your credentials. And our method of pushing it up into Google Sheets is to append row again. And the reason being is because when it first starts off, the Google Sheet will be empty. Then we have all this information and we want to push it up into the cloud. Choose your sheet, and the mapping of each column is going to be done manually. So it will come back with this, and we just want to pull in our schema of our title into here, our website, email, and number, like this. Very simply. So every time more data comes in, it will be automatically uploaded into Google Sheets. Once it's been put up there, what we want to choose from this list, so if you can see in this list, we have, of course, this is an example of where we have found many different email addresses on this website, and a lot of them are rubbish. So, I mean, centurywixpress.com, this is just about how the website is, I mean, what they've used WixPress, clearly. And so we obviously can't send an email, so we don't want to send it to these kind of emails. And if there's more than one email address, we don't want to automatically send it to both of them because we don't know if they're correct or not. So we automate anything that is a single email address. And we pull this back in from the Google Sheets. So from the Google Sheets, we have the data here. And then we take this data and we want to basically clean the emails up. And again, repetitively, you do just want to copy and paste into ChatGPT and ask it to give you a snippet, a JavaScript snippet, which will return only emails which appear once. So no comma in between each of the emails and no to and signs. And this is what we've been returned. Now, of course, this is not a perfect system because you can see here there's a user at domain. This is not going to be sent to anyone. And I believe just looking at these, that is the only one. So we can actually avoid this one. But from the system that we've set up, it's not really possible to automate the avoiding of such an email address. Lastly, is the creation of the draft. So once we have each of the emails, we do just want to take the email address, pull it into an email, and set up our Gmail account. So firstly, select your credentials and set it up. Secondly, you can choose a resource here. So I've chosen draft purely for the reason being that I don't want to automatically send an email to anything that isn't a proper one. If you think of it this way, if you don't mind sending emails like this, then that's fine. You can actually automatically send it without even thinking. But I've just labeled draft to start with. The subject you can fill in, volunteering automation capabilities. The email type is text. And then finally, I've put in a fixed outreach email. So this is basically just me offering my services to help volunteer for whichever charity they are working for. Now, this, of course, so I've made a fixed outreach message. One way we could develop this potentially is having it connected to an AI agent, which will automatically personalize and customize the email for you to this charity. But because I'm not a business and I'm not so concerned about having such custom emails, I'm not going to do this because it does, of course, cost you credits. So when this step is executed, which it has done when we run it, we can and should be able to see Gmail. We should be able to see a whole load of drafts exactly here. and we can see this set up like this. Now, the one way I can clean this up is to basically make sure that these are, I believe a -N, something like this would allow for paragraph spacing. I'd actually need to look this up and exactly how I would need to clean this up, but I'll let you know in the comments. The final step, which I just may have forgotten, is we want to update. So I mentioned an outreach status. We have an email sent, and in fact, it's not email sent. It should be draft created. But basically, when we've outputted it from the same node, so when this is executed, this is also executed at the same time. We can update our Google Sheets to show which ones we've sent it to. And just to show you exactly how I've done this, from the document, you want to choose the correct Excel or Google Sheets. Then you want to pick the sheet. And then we want to match on email. So the column we match on is email because we've already cleaned up our email addresses, so there is only a single email possible. So it's definitely a unique field. And because of that, we can use it to automatically match up this one and just send email sent into the Google Sheets. And we can see here the outreach status is a fixed object of being email sent. So I hope this made you think a little bit about how it can potentially be applied to your needs. There are a lot of ways that this can be improved. This is an initial kind of outreach attempt. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments.